Hello everyone, my name is Tara and welcome to Aligning to Love. In this channel I aim to spread hope, joy, peace, and love to the world by sharing goodness and love within my life. In this video I'm going to rewind and reflect on the month of October of 2025 when my family and I first moved into this house. I am going to be uploading videos going back and reflecting on the ending months of 2025 all the way up to now, the current time, which we're on July 30th of 2026. And because of the move, it is why I have been on a hiatus with creating videos, and I've always had the intention to go back and reflect on them, not only for my memory and to have these videos when I'm older to look back on, but I also created this YouTube channel to remind myself all of the happy and great moments that I have in my life with the people that I interact with on a daily basis. And so I just wanted to share these videos on YouTube so that others may have a chance to hear funny or heartfelt or just entertaining stories from my life, in case they were feeling down. I know that the original reason why I started this channel is because I was feeling defeated with what was happening in the United States, and this channel really allowed me to process and be thankful for the things that I can control in my life, and be grateful for the people and the experiences that I do have on a day-to-day basis. So that's the reason I do this channel, and I hope that this brings some smiles or laughter if there are others that are listening to this. So going back to the first week in October, this move, I've moved back to my hometown. But for my husband and my daughter, it's a brand new location. It's a new environment. And for all of us, it's a new experience because I'm living it with my family now. And we moved back in August, but the month of August, we moved in with my parents because we weren't able to get into this house until September. So the first month that we had lived with my parents, I really didn't reach out to friends, and I hadn't seen friends in my hometown. And the month of September, we were really just trying to get organized, get settled with our unpacking and decluttering. And I didn't have a lot of time for friends in that month either. So I was really looking forward and excited to be with friends. On October 3rd, we were celebrating my friend Hallie's birthday party. And I've been friends with many of my hometown friends since I was 12 and 13. And I was just really looking forward to celebrating my friend Hallie's birthday and seeing others and just catching up. And it was also the first time, I think, that I went out and had an evening to socialize, and my husband was taking care of my daughter. I originally had told him that I'd be back around 7 or 8, but I had such an amazing time catching up with my friends that I don't think I was back until 10 or 11 at night. And I never do that, and it was just so much fun, and it was so needed for me at the time because all of my energy was just being spent on organizing and getting our life together and being present with my daughter and making sure my husband and I had what we needed, and it was just nice to have some fun back in the picture with friends. And so on the way to my friend's party, I saw the license plate 888, and that really made my night because I often see angel numbers, and for me, I've seen them since I was in my teenage years, and really a huge amount in my 20s. And so for me, I've gotten to have a little, I don't know if you'd call it a code or a definition for my personal idea of what it means to me. I know angel numbers can mean variations for so many people, but for me, whenever I see 888, it represents abundance. It represents balance with if you turn the 8 upside down, the infinity symbol of health and wealth and happiness. And so that really described what I was feeling that night, because I felt like I was finally getting a balance of not just working so hard, but finally getting to have some fun too. And so that was really a nice reminder as I was driving to the party, and I had such a good time. And those friendships, I've said in other videos, they have always felt like home to me. And these friends that I've had from middle school and from high school have really just become more of just family, because we've been in our lives so long. And there are friends that you maybe have friendships with that are in your life a long time and then they fall away, but I'm really thankful that these friends have been through thick and thin with me and with all the other people in our group. And it's just those friendships that you don't need to talk every day. Sometimes we don't even talk monthly, and it's like sometimes half a year, but it's those friendships that the minute you pick up again, it's like right back to how it was. And I'm just so thankful for those type of friendships. And for me, like, that just represents true friendship, and I'm always grateful for that. I remember on October 4th, I was really sentimental because my husband's mom, or my mother-in-law, she had given us these water games that I used to love as kids. They were fish with water in it, and you press the buttons that put air into it, and the rings that you try to get on the little the hoops or the little, I don't know what you call them, the pegs inside the water game. And we had gotten them like 5 or 6 years ago when we went to Michigan to visit my mother-in-law and her boyfriend, and he's really like a father-in-law too. And so I just remember when we were unpacking these fish toys, these water toys, I was really sad because there was a crack in both of the plastic screens, and no matter if we filled it with water, it was leaking and it wasn't going to be able to be used. And these were some of the toys that I had really wanted to keep for Juniper when she was older, because they were like the 90s water toys that were so popular. And I was just really sad when we had to throw them out that day. But my mother-in-law and my husband's mom, she always gives us really like sentimental and cool artifacts and gifts that are either for us or for our daughter. And so I know that even though those are gone, she always gets really cool things for us, especially the ones that are homemade. Going on to the next part of October, I'm just looking down at my notes because it's been so long that I have no idea what was happening in that time span. And in the previous video right before this one, I had shared that I thought I could just skim through my 2025 calendar, but it got wet when I was watering our plants and flowers, and so it was completely illegible. So all the notes that I do have was from looking at family photos and family videos, and even going back through text messages to try to figure out where we were in this phase of our life. I also remember in October, my brother, it was really nice. He also lives in the town that we just moved to, our hometown. And it was just so fun to be able to say, hey, stop over for dinner. And he came over and we had lasagna. And the month of September, my brother and I had been trying to figure out something to do for my mom's 70th birthday party. And so during the months of September and October, we were really brainstorming what we could do that would be a big and fun occasion for her 70th, which didn't take place until April 2026. but we knew that we wanted to do something big for her. And she lives out of state from all of her other relatives. And so we were thinking of trying to do a big 70th surprise party at our local inn, the Middlebury Inn. And so the month of September and October, we were just getting together a lot more and trying to figure out who we were going to try to invite, and getting because in October, I don't think we even had the Middlebury Inn as a location where we were going to even plan on having it, but that happened later. But everything was coming together, and it was really fun to be able to have that project with my brother and to be able to be so close with him to organize it. And so I remember on October 10th, it was just really fun to have him for dinner and just talk about our ideas with Juniper and just have that quality brother and sister time. My brother is somebody that, even though he's a brother, he's become a really good friend, one of my best friends. And with his friendship too, it's just like, we may not always talk all the time, but it just is so comforting, and it's so easy. And I just love friendships that are easy. And so I remember on that day, I was just really happy and thankful. On October, let's see, on October 11th, on October 11th, I believe it was on October 11th, it's always hard because my mom and my aunt's wedding anniversaries are 2 days apart. And I always forget if my mom's anniversary is October 11th or if it's my aunt's. And the other October anniversary is the 13th. But either one of those days, it was my aunt's anniversary, my aunt and uncle's anniversary, and my mom and dad's anniversary. And in a really old video, I had shared that my mom and dad had went to go see a play at the Northern Stage, which is where we used to live in White River. And it was hysterical that they went there because we had always tried to get them to come see a play when we lived over there, and they were never able to schedule it when they were visiting us. And then we finally moved back to Middlebury, and then they were able to go see a play over there. So that was the joke of that anniversary for them. And my aunt and uncle, they are relatives that live in Massachusetts, but we always used to celebrate the holidays together, especially Thanksgiving. And my aunt is my godmother, this aunt that I'm talking about, with her anniversary. And so that's always a special thing to be able to wish them a happy anniversary as well. And it must have been so cool for my mom and my aunt to be able to share their anniversaries so close together as they were going through their milestones in life. And I think that's really cool. On October 17th, I just remember feeling the change in the weather from going really into summer weather and then dropping down to the 20s, and feeling the crisp, cool mornings and seeing the frost on the ground. But then by the middle of the day, it'd be like 60 and the frost would go away, and really getting into that fall weather. And for me, I love summer. I love the heat, and I love just the warmth, and just I just relish in it. But I also, and it's the same thing, I get like sentimental at the change of seasons, but I also get excited because it is nice to have that beginning of the day with that cold air and having a hot cup of tea in the morning, and then having the warm weather in the afternoon, and then snuggling in at night when it starts getting colder again. And I just remember on October 17th feeling those weather and climate changes, and knowing that I couldn't even believe that the changing of seasons were happening, because it felt like we had just moved in and it was summer. And it definitely made me think that of the passing of time, and it just felt like it was flying by. I also remember on the 17th or the 18th that I was really happy because I was we had paid off credit cards and other bills like that, and I had money on my Venmo account that I had forgotten about, and so I deposited that in my bank account, and then I had cashback rewards from our credit card that I also deposited back in our bank account, which was happy and exciting. And with the move and with down payment for the rent, we were really like, we weren't like tight on money, but we had saved for this move, and so it just felt like just happiness to have a little bit of that come back to us so that we could do more fun activities during the time that my husband had off. The next thing that I wanted to share, which is kind of funny, on the 20th of October, I remember canceling my subscription to Solid Starts. And for people who aren't familiar with that, it's for parents who want to know foods for their child that are starting to eat solid foods, and what beginning foods and veggies and grains that you can start your child with when they're starting to get their teeth to be able to chew and try new varieties of food. And that was a big milestone for me, because I just remember like feeling like I can't believe my daughter is like, I don't even have to worry about her eating or chewing or choking anymore, because she's so confident and she's so old now that it's like a thing of the past. And for once it was like a relief that and it was something that I could let go of easily. Being a mom is something that I was so excited to have as a milestone in my life. And it was, as my daughter got older, from the newborn stages into like walking and the toddler stages, there were lots of instances where I was sad that phase was over. But when I canceled the Solid Start subscription, it was one of those times where I wasn't feeling any nostalgia and I wasn't sad about it. So that really stuck out to me in that moment. And let's see, another big part that financially that I remember being like stunned about is, in other videos I had shared that my husband had gotten sick, and he also has ears that get clogged with earwax. It builds up faster than normal, and he had to have a cleaning, and we got the bill for that, and it was $400, and we couldn't believe that just a cleaning of your ears was that expensive. But it had to be done, and he felt like $1 million afterwards. And so health is something that you cannot put a price on, because if you don't have your health, you don't have quality of life. And so that was something that we were just like, okay, let's just pay this and get it over with. I think there was just a few more things in October, and then I'm going to end the video. Sorry, I'm just looking at my notes. Oh, in October, the end of October, on the 24th, we were so happy because our dental insurance cards finally came in the mail. We had moved since October, and during October, we had moved in August, and from August, September, and October, we were still waiting on various parts of the insurance with his job, and it was really stressful. So the fact that those came in made our life a lot easier, and so we were excited and happy about that. During the month of October, I was able to do a lot of walks with Juniper, both one-on-one, but also with my mom, and also with our new neighbor, Emily. So that was really fun during the month of October. And let's see, I know I had shared this in another video, but I was super excited. On October 27th, my youngest cousin shared that she's engaged. She was engaged, and so I was just so pumped for her, and I couldn't wait until the wedding and when they would set the dates and the details, and I was just so happy for her. And that was definitely a highlight of that week. Another highlight on that exact same day is that my husband had gotten a big bonus for working at his job for I can't remember how many months it was, 3 to 4 months, and so it was a substantial bonus, which was really good because we were still having to pay some bills from our previous apartment. We were still having to pay some bills for medical things that weren't getting processed correctly, and so it just felt really good to have that come in for us. And it was towards the end of October that the inconsistency and just the time that my husband would have to work both as scheduled, but then being pulled even when it wasn't his time to work, was really waning on him and our family, and just it was draining, and that's when he was starting to think about how he was going to be doing it long term, which is really funny because we're both people who usually stay in jobs for a long duration. We were both at our previous jobs for 10 years, but it just wasn't resonating with us, and life felt so hard, and we were just in so many transitions and so many pieces that needed to come together, and so he was still giving it his all, but he was also trying to figure out what was going to work better for our family in the future. Another part of the end of October that is fun and special is that my brother's best friend named Joseph, and he's more like a second brother to me, his birthday was on October 30th, and I remember just wishing him a happy birthday. And I remember that night being really stormy. There was lots of wind and rain happening, and same with Halloween night. We didn't actually go out for Halloween, but in videos from a long time ago, I had shared that there was a Halloween parade that our town does for little kids, and so it was during the daytime, and so all these little kids and families had fun time dressing up and going to local businesses that would hand out candy or fruit and other stickers and things like that, and that ended up being a beautiful day, and we got to socialize with other high school friends, and Juniper got to wear a tutu and rainbow stockings, and just she had a blast at that day. And so even though Halloween wasn't a day that we could go out with the weather, she did get a Halloween fun activity day beforehand. And so that is the last October memory that I think I wanted to include in these videos. So thank you for listening and spending this time with me. I hope you got some laughter or some smiles or entertainment out of it. And I love you all. I hope you're all taking care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.